The Weeknd just dropped his new album Hurry Up Tomorrow and it's sounding insane. Similar to the previous albums a part of this trilogy, he kept that synth-pop sound with a little bit of R&B mixed in with it. Mike Dean also had a huge hand in the production of this album, so you know it's got that cinematic, epic sound to it. If you're wondering how to achieve a sound like that, in this video I'm going to be breaking down a beat that I made referencing the song Cry For Me, then I'm going to be making a completely different beat from scratch. Let's get into it. Before we dive into this breakdown, I just wanted to mention the fact that I've already done a video on The Weeknd and his dark R&B production that a lot of people really seem to enjoy. So if you're looking for another tutorial on The Weeknd and his production, I suggest going and watching that video right after this one. Finish this one first though, please. The song Cry For Me starts off with some really aggressive sounding synth basses. So for my beat, I layered 3 different sounds to create something similar and I came up with this chord progression. The 3 layers that I have is just a regular synth bass, a sub bass, and a distorted bass. The way I mix them together, the distorted bass, I cut out a lot of the lows just because I wanted the high end. The synth bass I left alone, didn't put anything on it because I wanted that main sound. For the sub bass, I put Magic Switch on and it just really makes all 3 sounds sound bigger and wider, which is exactly what I was going for. On top of those synth basses, the next sound that I added was this bell to create some melody. As you could probably already hear, I added some delay on that, which gives it more bounce, but also what gives it a lot of bounce is the fact that I started on the upbeats with these notes, meaning that it doesn't hit on the downbeat, it hits on the upbeat. I don't really know how to explain that, but if you know music, it's 8th notes and then on the upbeat. Yeah, I just sound like a nerd right now. It sounds good though, but not good enough. It didn't give me that like evil epic vibe to it, even though I did like the melody that I came up with. I wanted it to sound more anthemic, so I went into Polymax and found this lead sound to layer on top of the bell. Adding that lead on top of the bell just brought everything together and gave it that menacing sound that I was going for, and that's all for the melody. I forgot to mention that this song actually has 2 different sections to it, so make sure to keep watching to see how I went about the beat switch. To keep the aggressive theme going with the drums, it kind of sounded like there was a stomp kick in the beat on Cry For Me, so that's exactly what I put in my beat. I layered this cinematic stomp effect underneath this kick right here. If you come in here to this little switch button and boost it up and press clip, it gives a crazy distorted sound to it, and I thought it sounded very mean and aggressive, which again is what I was going for. The drums in the first half of the beat on Cry For Me were a little bit different than normal trap drums, so the snare pattern I kind of just ripped straight from the song and it sounds like this on top of the kick. Then to finish off the drums in the first half, I created this hi-hat pattern that's super wide open with some extra rhythms here and there. So far, this is how the first half of my beat is sounding. Like I mentioned earlier, there are 2 parts to this beat, so for the second half in the song, I kind of heard like an organ bell sound, but I couldn't quite put my finger on what the exact sound was, so I went for both. I found this bell from Expand right here, and I layered this organ sound from Analog Labs underneath it. This is the pattern that I came up with right here. It's very melodic, very wide open sounding, and it sounds like this. The only other element to the melody for the second half that I added was this sub bass 808 type of thing. I layered this 808 sound underneath the distorted bass that I used earlier in the first half of the beat. You You can see that I left some empty spaces in comparison to the first half. It just complements the drum pattern that I'm about to go over. Metro Boomin had a production credit on this song, and you can definitely hear where he comes in the second half of the beat. Very simple trap drums underneath that melodic wide open melody, and this is what I came up with from my beat. All of those sounds put together gives me the second half of my beat. Alright, now that I've broke down both sections, let's talk about the arrangement. This right here is the first section, and then this right here is the second section. There's really nothing transitioning either one. Just like in the song, it kind of just abruptly ended section 1 and then immediately went into section 2. But to start off, we got the synth basses for a 4-bar intro, bringing in the drums underneath that. I created some space right here in the synth basses just so it's not connected the entire time and you do get to breathe a little bit. But bringing everything in right here for the first 8 bars of the verse, then taking out the leads at the top, dropping everything out for 2 beats right before this like pre-chorus-y section, and then bringing everything back in, including drums for like the drop chorus, and then again just chopping up these little synth basses, giving it some variation, giving the listener a chance to breathe. Drums right here, it's just kick, like the stomp effect, no hi-hats, no snare. This right here is like the second verse section, and then it goes straight into the second section of the beat right here. Wow. Second section of the beat right here, the organ and bell sound drops out right before the trap drums come in for the second drop. One thing that I did do differently in the second half of the beat is I switched the sound. It's the same pattern, but I went into Polymax and I grabbed this synth sound just to change up the sound for the second section's verse section. There's a lot of different sections in the beat like this, but this is what that sounds like. And then what I did to make the melody in the last chorus sound super full is I just pitched that sound up an octave. That right there is the full breakdown of the beat that I made referencing the song Cry For Me. I'm not going to play the full thing for you guys just because it is quite long, but it is going to be a good amount just so I can show you both sections. So if you don't want to hear the full thing, just double tap the right of your screen. But it is a good beat, so I mean, you should listen to the full thing. Alright, so for the second half of this video, like I said, I'm going to be making a beat completely from scratch to fit the vibe of this album. I'm thinking like a synth-pop vibe. We're going to see how it goes. Hopefully well. I kind of have like a little bit of an idea in my head. Let's see if I can put it on paper. There. I like that right there. Let's see if I can start. Let's start with the drum loop actually. Get some bounce going while I'm creating this progression. Something like that, right? That doesn't sound bad. Trust the process. Trust the process. Yeah. Hey, this is fire, okay. Getting somewhere. Switch it up in the second half. I don't know about this last note, but that was cool. All right, off to a good start. Let's see if we can layer it with something in here. Sounds thick, sounds full. We like that. We like that.
Hey, yo, what the f?
Alright, now we need a lead of some sort. Slide this note down. Maybe regular note. I like that. This is coming together pretty nice. Hold on. And go up. I like the octaves there. I don't like the way it resolves though. There, that's better. Alright, this needs a bass. We need a mean synth bass. Let's go into Serum. And take down this high end a little bit. Add some reverb to the Juno. Just change the key a little bit. Maybe go down with it. We're in C major, I think. I like 4 down. I'm gonna start laying some of this out so we can create some variation with sections. I don't really know if I'm feeling this lead sound anymore. Let's see if we can find anything in Splice. Can figure out how to make this work. Chop it in half and fade it a little bit. Maybe with some effects on it. Yeah, just kind of tucked in the back, doesn't sound bad. That's a cool layer, that's a cool layer. This is fire. I think the beat is cool just like that. I'm gonna leave it alone, not do too much to it. I do want to try to create some sort of like intro or outro. I think it could be cool, so let's try it. Start with like a bass maybe. Boom. And that could be like the last leading up into, okay. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. I'm gonna add on to that. Maybe just leave it on E. Yeah, I like that. If you enjoyed or learned anything from this video, go down in the comments and let me know. Hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. I appreciate y'all for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.